Standing on the Shoulders of Giants is one of my favourite Oasis albums. I actually think it's one of the most underrated albums ever, to be honest.
Thinking, well, I'm going to use drum loops on that, and you know, the bass line's going to be really complicated here, and it's not going to be all about the song, so to speak. It's going to be more about the musicianship. And I was thinking, well, you know, is it all going to work with new people and in a new environment? And the amazing thing for me is that it all worked, and it didn't feel weird. It just felt really natural. So, and it still sounds like an Oasis record, but it sounds like a different kind of Oasis record, which is what we should have done last time.
Still to this day, I think it's possibly the most enduring Oasis album. For me, it just gets better and better with time. Number 10, the worst song on Standing on the Shoulders of Giants is I Can See a Liar. Now, this is viewed as one of the worst Oasis songs, and I do kind of agree. I mean, I don't think it's a god-awful song or anything like that, but I don't think it was at home on this album, because it felt like Oasis were trying to step outside the perimeters they'd set for themselves on Definitely Maybe, What's the Story, and Be Here Now, and actually get a bit more creative, not just be a rocky anthems band. You know, try and stay in that lane, but go beyond that lane as well. And I Can See a Liar just sounds like a imitation of all the rocky great songs on the previous Oasis albums. And Oasis shelved some pretty good songs on this track list, such as Let's All Make Believe and One Way Road. Both of them are way better than I Can See a Liar, but it feels like to me Noel and Liam maybe forced this on just so they could get a song that sounded like the old school Oasis era. I don't know, it just feels phoned in. It lacks the youthful spontaneity of early Oasis. Liam's vocal is okay, but it just feels a bit poor. It feels very thrown together, this song. Next up is Put Your Money Where Your Mouth Is. Now this is an interesting one for me. I used to really not like the song at all, but over time I've grown an appreciation for it. I don't think it's a great song, but I don't think it's a terrible song. It's a very unique song, like it goes places with kind of electronic experimentation. There's a frenzy to this song, there's a race against time to the song. I get a lot of imagery in this song. I get an image of driving down the motorway with these flashing lights and this urgency. And I do feel like that mood is conjured up. But I do feel like the song has a lot of potential, but it kind of runs out of steam by the end, and I think that's the problem with this song. Liam's delivery is good, but it just never really, you know, it loses my interest. Number 8 is Who Feels Love. Now this is a very kind of personal, uplifting, sweet song by Noel Gallagher. There's a lot of moodiness on this album, a lot of almost dread and looming feelings. But this is one of the bright spells on the album, and I love the Eastern influences. It just conjures up imagery of kind of purity and mountains and meditation and Zen.
Thank you for the sun, the one that shines on everyone who feels love.
And it's just a positive song. It's full of good messages. Found what I lost inside, my spirit has been purified. You know, it's just nothing but a nice lyric about rising up and freeing your soul. It's a nice song, this. And it has kind of a Beatles mellow type feel to it, so I enjoy it. And I love when Oasis go psychedelic, and it's all over this song. Number 7 is the instrumental on the album, which is Fucking in the Bushes. Yes, YouTube, I said it. This became the intro to their gigs. It's a really raucous, rip-roaring rock explosion. The guitar and the drums has become one of the most memorable pieces of Oasis music ever, really, because it really is. You hear it straight away and you think of Oasis. It became their trademark at the time. It's better than the instrumentals on What's the Story, Morning Glory. So it's, you know, it's just a real burst of energy and rock and roll electricity. Number 6 on the album, people are going to hate me, it's Little James. I know people hate Little James. I know it was Liam's first song and he was kind of doing a bit of a, I guess, drab, wishy-washy, overly sentimental song. But for me, that's kind of everything I love about the song. I don't know, I feel like hearing this kind of rock hard man go into these vulnerable areas and sing about this child in a loving way, and the affection he has for the child and his mum. I don't know, I enjoyed seeing Liam tap into that, and I love the little phrases on this. You know, people say the lyrics are really bad, but I love stuff like, I'm singing this song for you and your mum and that's all. That's such a from the heart line. You know, it's not trying to be clever or anything like that, it's just a genuine message. A kind of sweet just gift to these people he's doing the song about, and that's what I love about it. It's not trying to impress people with this song.
Little James, we're all the same. Always seem to look to us. We were meant to be grown-ups. Thank you for your smile. You make it all worthwhile to us.
Very, very Beatles, but a decent melody for Liam to begin with on his first song he ever wrote. I don't know if that's true, maybe he wrote some songs before this, but his first actual proper song. Yeah, I enjoy it, I do. I like the positivity of it. I like the kind of Liam speculating whether he can be a parent at this time and looking over this child and wanting to protect him and what he wants to do to free him from pain, and the little affectionate lines like "live for your toys even though they make noise." People have really slated that line, but I just love how it's a nice bit of affection for a young child. It's just an innocent song, this.
I'm proud that he's done it in a way, because it'll give him the confidence to go and maybe write more.
Well, it's not. I didn't go out of my way to write a song. You know what I mean? I've just been playing about with this little tune, and then I've got a lot of songs that I've been doing that for years. You know what I mean? Little bits and bobs that I never really finish them off. I always sort of like just go, oh, fuck it, I'll leave it and come back to it later on. And that was the first full song that really just come to me really easy because I've been around him. And that's it. I've just done it in 3 minutes.
It's very pure and it's very wholesome, but I guess people were expecting Liam to come out of a rocker for his first song, so maybe they didn't appreciate it. But I enjoy Little James. I'm one of the only Oasis fans who likes it. Little James and Magic Pie. I'm the only one who likes them, guys. Actually, no, that's not true. I've actually met a lot of people in the comments who do like Magic Pie. Magic Pie, one of the most hated songs in Oasis. I love it. And Little James, I want to hear people who love this song too. If you hate it, if no one else agrees, then that's fine, but I'm sure some of you do. Be honest. We are now in the top 5 of songs on Standing on Shoulders of Giants. Let me know your order in the comments. And next is Where Did It All Go Wrong? So many devastatingly honest lyrics on this song by Noel. Like, he really was on the come down. And that's what I love. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I love this album because it is one of the most honest times a rock band has said where they were after the explosion of fame and how it didn't really meet their expectations, and they had a rocky time and they had a hard time at the top. And Noel really bears his soul on so many songs on this album. I hope you know that it won't let go, it sticks around with you until the day you die. That lyric punches me in the gut every time I hear it. I think it's one of the most uncompromising, stark, striking, heartfelt, painful lyrics ever, really. What a thing to say. I think it's about the mental health. I think it's about your regrets stay with you. Your experiences, the bad things you go through, they stick around with you till the day you die. That just gives me a lump in my throat. I hope the tears don't stain the world that waits outside. Where did it all go wrong? Noel was really speculating, like, what happened with Oasis. Like, we were just having fun, and then suddenly it feels empty. And Noel was really exploring those feelings on songs like Where Did It All Go Wrong. The fact that he now felt confused and disorientated and removed from everything and what was going on. And I love the honesty and the vulnerability of that. Noel's vocal performance is so good, so sincere and earnest. And he's actually singing his heart out. Like, on a lot of Noel's songs, he's reserved, he's doing that speculative acoustic thing, and he leaves the singing your heart out for Liam. And Where Did It All Go Wrong? Noel's singing his heart out, but he still retains his kind of Noel Gallagher acoustic vibe. But he's singing his heart out. He really is. It sounds rocky and aggressive as well.
But I hope you know that it won't let go. It sticks around with you until the day you die.
Number 4, you're going to hate me again. It's Sunday Morning Cool. I know Noel Gallagher hates this song, but you know what? You ask Noel what songs he likes, it's going to change from day to day. So I think he should be proud of this song. This song really does stir up feelings in me. It's got kind of the same ideas as Where Did It All Go Wrong, but this is more of a sorrowful, gentle, melancholy version of that. That's kind of a Noel was singing his heart out aggressively. This is like a sense of alienation and disorientation and desperation. I really, really love Noel's vocal melody on this and his vocal performance, but that vocal melody is incredible.
Here's another Sunday morning call. You hear her banging on the door. Slip your shoes on and
I love the electronics in the background. I don't know what it is, but it's just like these beeps and these sounds. But they add kind of a melancholy sort of feeling to it, and they add sort of a mood, and they come in at the right time. It's a very well positioned, you know, kind of electronic sound on top of this that adds to the mourning, and that adds to the kind of mournful feel of this song. In your head, do you feel what you're not supposed to feel? Again, it's another gut punch lyric. That's up there with the Where Did It All Go Wrong lyrics. There's just a lot of heart and depth to the lyrics and the delivery in this in Noel, and he's really tapping into that odd feeling of being empty, like going about life but not understanding why you feel the way you do. Number 3 is Roll It Over. In my original review for this album, which I did years ago, I really dissed Roll It Over, and I'm annoyed at my young self, because that's an absolute disgrace. You should be ashamed of yourself. Roll It Over is a stunning piece of work. Now, I must admit, it took me seeing Liam do it live to really get the power of Roll It Over. I think when he does it live, the belting it out, the spectacle is just incredible.
So roll it over my soul and leave me here. Roll it over my soul and leave me here.
But the thing is with Roll It Over is, on the surface, it appears boring, but it's a song that's really slow paced and creeps up on you and begins to slowly but surely loom over you. It's a very all-encompassing song, and it's a very well built up song, so well structured and planned, and so much on this album. There was so much of an attempt to just make each song have a character and a build up and a depth to it and a standout, and Roll It Over really has its own feel. The number 2 best song on Standing on the Shoulders of Giants is Gas Panic. And like I was saying, there's such an effort on this album to tap into certain moods, and on here there's just a real striking, harsh, menacing feel to this song. Very distinct sounding, it's very mean and gritty, and it's just a real odd, creepy feeling. It's probably the creepiest, strangest, weirdest, spookiest Oasis song.
That my family don't seem so familiar. All my enemies all know my name. And if you hear me tap on your window, you better get on your knees and pray. Panic is on the way.
Clearly on this, it's about weaning off of drugs, the song, and I feel like that's what they're trying to create the mood of, this kind of jarring feeling, and this kind of hold that drugs have over you, this strangeness, this not being able to think straight. It's all throughout Gas Panic. It's a song that as soon as it starts and progresses, you're just forced to sit up and take notice. It hooks you and grabs you by the throat. My family don't seem so familiar, my enemies all know my name. That is just one of the best lines Noel Gallagher ever wrote, I feel like. What a perfect description of what can happen when you're in over your head with drugs. Like, you lose touch of everything normal, and the people you normally would hate are the ones who know your name. It's just a devastating blow, that line. And when you hear me tap on your window, you better get on your knees and pray. Again, just tapping into that idea that drug addicts kind of become something else. They become kind of creatures tapping on your window, begging for help. There's just such a bizarreness to this song. And number 1, you probably could have guessed, it's Go Let It Out. This is a pure masterpiece of a song. It's the best of both worlds, because obviously Oasis were trying to go a real different direction with this album, but with Go Let It Out, they go that strange direction, but it's also up there with the biggest Oasis anthems. It just blows your socks off. And I love how Oasis proved to themselves and proved to the world they could make a different kind of song, but be just as catchy, just as memorable, just as iconic as any of their other stuff.
So go let it out, go let it in, go let it out, don't let it in, and go let it out.
That bridge that starts with Liam saying, "Is it any wonder?" It's one of the most creative things Oasis ever recorded. It's an immediate shift into new territory, and it just sounds psychedelic and brilliant and massive.
So a tiny little bit about how how in England we're quite fascinated with why famous people and rich people act like absolute knobheads 24 hours of the day. And we're fascinated by that, and we put them on the front cover of newspapers, and that's basically saying, well, you know, is it any wonder why people act like that?
It's a new kind of melody, a new kind of style, a new kind of character to Oasis. Obviously there's drum machines and there's different electronics and different patterns going on, but it shows that you can use all that stuff and you don't lose your credibility as a rock band. That's the whole message for me behind this album. They really, really deserve respect for experimenting and going outside the box and showing that Oasis were a band to be reckoned with, not just a flash in the pan who had 3 albums and, you know, needed to disappear. I feel like what they did on this album was brave and bold. And that final chorus feels like it's shooting off into the stars. You know, the spaciousness and the grandness to it is incredible. It's one of the most times where Liam fills me with... It's probably the most time in Oasis history where I get all the feels of Oasis in one chorus. It's just an incredible spectacle. So there you have it. There's my ranking of Standing on Shoulders of Giants. As you probably guessed, I love talking about this album. To this day, I think it's their most underrated. And I would love to hear your order of the tracks. What do you think of my order of the tracks? What do you think of this album in general? Let me know. Please consider subscribing if you love to talk about British rock and Oasis. And I will see you guys in the next video.